Series of small enterprise webinar. Good to see you all back again every week. We all know that there's been a webinar fatigue getting on to everyone. I'm sure that many of you are getting at least about 2 to 3 webinar requests every day. These are the great times that people should definitely watch as many sessions possible and get to gain as much of knowledge to run your business forward. So a warm welcome to each and everyone. So we have great speakers today. So I'll take you through the entire process, the agenda for you to understand what is the session all about today. It's all about remodeling your business. So how are you going to remodel? What are the major aspects? As you know, technology is the main driver for your business. So everything in today's session is all about revolved around technology, how it can help your business and things like that. So I'm going to quickly take you through the process today. First, I'll take you through the agenda. Then I'm going to take you through the entire, the theme, and I'll introduce the speakers, and they're going to start. So as I rightly said, this is going to be a game changer. The whole pandemic, everything worldwide, there's a lot of changes happening to everybody's life. The business, the entire world, the government, everyone is changing. So why not your business? So change your business for good. Look at what are the possible ways to change around your business. Learn from experts. So a big thank you for our partner Tally, who is supporting us for today's webinar. Our knowledge partner Bhagwani Foundation, and all our ecosystem partners, Tech Coimbatore, Kerala Startup Mission, SME Chamber, the Marathwad Association, Power to SME, Ravi University, of course, Aspire Consulting is part of our own group. So a very interesting webinar that everyone should definitely be there till end of the session. There's something else that we would like to also inform you what is going to be the next week's session as well. So let me quickly take you through the agenda. After my session, I'll be introducing Mr. YZ Suren. He's the co-founder of Again Drinks and an author of Falling to Succeed. He's going to talk about removing the fear of technology for MSMEs. A major factor, every MSME, they have some kind of a fear to adopt new technology. So this is how he's going to help you remove the fear. So a very interesting session. Please make sure that you all make enough notes, whatever notes required. Interact after the session. Whatever doubts you have, please feel free to ask him. And also later at the launch, if you can meet him and discuss, it will be great. So followed by Mr. YZ Suren, we'll have Mr. Sandeep Barve. He's the CEO and MD of Initial Private Limited. He's going to talk about unconventional strategies for business remodeling using technology. So as I told you, technology is a key driver, and it helps your business, scale up and use it to the best of its features and things like that. So followed by he's a senior consultant at Tally Solutions. He's going to talk about how to kickstart your business and conquer. A great session. It also helps you understand various aspects of how to start your business after the session and after this entire COVID season, how to conquer, what are the new things that you need to look into. So it's a very interesting session as well. Mr. Ravi Chandra is going to be the last speaker today, and he's a management consultant. He's an expert in business transformation. He's going to talk about opportunities in IoT and industrial IoT. So I will briefly explain, introduce everyone before they start. It's a very interesting section that we're going to have next week. Is about a master class. So we're going to introduce our Aspire master class, And even that's going to be the next week. So I just want to give you a quick preview of that. It's all about market your business with zero budget. So I'm not going to give you more details into it, but let us stick to the agenda today. And as I told you, I'm going to quickly introduce Aspire Media. Aspire Media has been in the market for last 10 years. And we've been helping SMEs scale up their business, impart knowledge, and also help them, understand the areas where they should be really looking at how to scale up their business. So, Aspire Media being launched as a portal initially as Small Enterprise India, the smallenterpriseindia.com. Initially, we launched as a portal, a lot of content in that, and help SMEs understand banking and finance, technology, marketing, logistics. Later, we launched the magazine called Small Enterprise. It's been a monthly magazine, print and digital, both on Maxter and Geo, getting a fairly good reach into the market. We go across the city, across various segments, whether it's rural market or metros. Our speakers, our readers are across all industry verticals, and most of them are CEOs and aspiring entrepreneurs. So we have our online version, we have magazine, we have events, a club, a marketing, online survey, webinar, and consulting. As I told you, it's available on GeoMag for all the Prime Geo subscribers. That's more than 250 million across India, and also available on Maxter, which is a paid version. The USP of our magazine is the cover story of every month. So whether it is how to grow from small to big, every month a cover story covers about more than 50 to 60% of the magazine, which goes in deep and help you to understand how this can help your business. So whether it's small to big or future workplace or startup essentials, or you're talking about franchise or SME manufacturing, or banking and finance, every segment we cover in depth every month. So it's a great, interesting read, and this is how the covers look like. It's technology or small to big and franchise, women in business, banking and finance, marketing and logistics, and so on. We have a consulting division which helps small SMEs or startups to either find investor or to scale up their business. So that's all about Aspire Media. So I want to quickly get on to the speakers now. I would like to welcome them. So as we were talking about business remodeling, in today's world, it's all about digital revolution. It's changing the world. Technology is spreading through every aspect of a society: communication, education, medicine, transportation, farming, and manufacturing. Cryptocurrencies are disrupting the banking systems. Hyperconnectivity through communication systems, sensors, wearables, smart devices has shortened the boundary between the physical and digital world. So renovation has to be constant and have to adapt and craft them. It should be the craft of marketing from a brand strategy to advertising. India's first e-commerce company, fabmart.com, later branded as India Plaza. He helped build brand scale company group in 2006 and rebranded as More chain of stores, now acquired by Amazon. Mr. Vaideshwaran has authored one of the best-selling books, Failing to Succeed, the story of India's first e-commerce company. So his specialties are FMCG, consumer brands, internet, e-commerce, startups, entrepreneurship, leadership, negotiations, deal making, general management, fundraising, and team building. So let's welcome Mr. Vaideshwaran. His topic is going to be removing the fear of technology for SMEs, MSMEs. So welcome, Mr. Vaideshwaran.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me at the event today. We have approximately 20 minutes, and I thought the value of the session for all of you will be to make it as interactive as possible. I don't have any slides or any presentation, but I have been interacting with MSMEs for many years now. I've consulted with quite a few of them. I've also consulted with large corporates. And one of the things that I've come across is in MSMEs is this: whenever they want to digitize their business, whenever they want to introduce technology in their business, I see a strong fear, a fear of technology. And based on today's topic, where there's so much of focus on technology and how it's going to improve business, I thought let me start off today's session by focusing on how to remove the fear. I think implementation of technology, other speakers will talk about. I'm trying to tell you how to overcome the fear of technology, which is probably the most important part. Like I said, I don't have slides, but I have 4 or 5 points that I think I'm going to talk about. And please feel free to ask me questions. Once I finish, I'm going to take maybe 10, 12 minutes, and then you have some minutes for questions. So the first point is, all of you are entrepreneurs, which means you're running a business, and your business has many, many parts to it. There's a product, there's a service, there's a manufacturing, there's marketing, there's sales, there's customer service, there is finance. Technology is another department like this. Technology is not something huge. Technology is not something to be treated differently. You should treat technology exactly the way you treat finance or marketing or sales. Like you have somebody in charge of finance, you'll have somebody in charge of marketing, you'll have somebody in charge of operations, you should have somebody in charge of technology, that's all. So the first and most important thing for you to remember remove the fear of technology is to never forget that it is another department in your company. It is not the company. The company is what you run. There are departments. Technology is just one department. So that's the first thing. The second thing is technology is for everyone. A lot of MSMEs that I have interacted with have told me, and have told me in private, separately, one-on-one discussion, saying, we cannot do technology because technology is only for all these e-commerce startups. It's all meant for smart engineers who come from big colleges and do technology-based startups. It is meant for them. How can we do technology? The reality is technology is for everybody. Technology is not meant only for tech startups. Okay, and let me also expand this point by explaining and elaborating what is technology. Anytime you use a tool or a plant or a machinery or some equipment in your business, irrespective of the business that you do, you are using technology. Technology, unfortunately, in India, a lot of people think is about making Android apps, making iOS apps, building large marketplaces. No, technology can be anything that you use. So, for example, I used to run an e-commerce business. Now I run an FMCG business called Again Drinks. We use food technology. We use manufacturing technology. We use food technology, but it is still a technology. And now I'm going to use my example to state a very important point. In 1999, I co-founded India's first e-commerce company. Nobody in India knew e-commerce, including us, but we went and launched it. At that time, if we were scared, we wouldn't have done it. Now, 20 years later, I'm 57 years old. I've never done FMCG in my life. I don't understand. I've gone and done an FMCG startup. Now, if I go by saying I don't understand FMCG, I don't understand food technology, how will I do it? We can't do this. I think the key thing to deal with technology is to remember it is not meant for a specific group of people. It is meant for everybody. That's the second point. The third point, I already told you, is, and this is a very important point, do not panic. Don't panic at all. If you are forced to use technology in your business, if somebody tells you to digitize your business, I think you must treat it as a normal change that is happening. COVID is going to make a significant impact in the way you do business. If you're selling a product that is sold offline, if you're selling a product that gets sold in retail stores, a lot of those customers are going to avoid retail stores. A lot of those customers are going to avoid coming to stores. There's going to be social distancing norms. So for all of this, all the products and services that you make, there will be significant digitization that will be required. Or suppose you're running a factory that could be making anything. You could be making garments, you could be making chemical items, You could be making food items. You could be making light engineering. You could be making machinery items. Anything that you do, or the Indian factories and the Indian offices, none of them are meant for social distancing. And this is not a problem in India. I think it's a problem in the whole world. Nobody anywhere in the world has built an office or a factory meant for social distancing, because nobody even understands social distancing. This is a new term. So you're probably running small plants, small factories in remote areas of the city, a small space. You have put your plant and machinery, rented the space, leased the space, taken loans. You obviously cannot do social distancing. In that place, whatever people you employ, you may have employed 10, 15, 20 people in your factory, or 50 people and running it. Now, the new social distancing norm says that each person needs to be away from the other person for 5 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet. Nobody knows what the distance is, for a safe working atmosphere. Now, in the same factory, if you now start putting those distances, you will not be able to function because you won't have enough people left. And unfortunately, unlike offices where you can say, or IT services, IT companies where you say 1/3 of the people can come, then you split your manpower into 3 groups and say somebody will come on today, somebody will come tomorrow, somebody will come day after tomorrow, and the cycle starts again. You cannot do that in your factory. If you're in your factory, you're making, let's say, garments, or let's say you're manufacturing biscuits, and your factory has got 20 people. You can't tell 6 people to come today, 6 people to come tomorrow, and 6 people to come day after tomorrow. You'll never make the products. So the only way to get the same productivity is to redo your work, redo your workplace, redo your factory, introduce the social distancing, and still maintain productivity by using more technology. So this is going to be essential. Your business has got to be digitized. If you have Salesforce, you have to remove the Salesforce, replace them with technology, with tools, help them sell without meeting customers. Now, is that possible? Yes, it is possible. But to do that, you have to basically understand how to remove the fear and how not to panic. Not panicking is very critical. Point number 4, and this is most important. This is the point that I think, apart from the panic, to me, this is the most important point that you must keep in mind. And the way to do this is like this. A lot of people, as MSMEs, have told me, entrepreneurs have told me that the reason they feel worried about technologies, honestly, they've told me sometimes they feel ashamed. They're saying, I cannot manage people who are in technology. Even if what you say is correct, I will hire an engineer, but he knows more than me. So how do I manage him because he knows more than me? In the case of marketing, sales, product, marketing, finance, I have learned over the years. And after some time, I know as much as my finance manager or my marketing manager. In this case, I don't know as much as my engineer. What do I do? So here is the good news for you. The good news for you is technology, especially in the modern area, such as things like data analytics, artificial intelligence, robotics, things change very, very quickly. Things change rapidly, which means the bad thing about this is because it changes rapidly, you're always thinking that I don't know anything. But you must look at it positively. Here's the good thing. The good thing about technology is because it changes rapidly, even the person who's below you, the engineer, also does not know anything. So whatever he knows today, 6 months later, he also doesn't know anything because things have changed. So how do you counter that? I think this is the most important one. The way to counter this is to read. Read, read, read. It's the only way to do it. Sign up for blogs, sign up for technology webinars, sign up for websites, sign up for books, sign up for journals, sign up for subscription on multiple areas. Pick areas that are relevant to your business, technology that you want to implement, technology that you want to read about. And I have a very simple rule that I have followed for so many, which I think works very well. Dedicate just 15 minutes a day, not 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. 15 minutes a day without fail. Fix a time. It could be morning, it could be afternoon, it could be evening, it could be night. But the same 15 minutes every day, do nothing but read. Read about technology. Whatever is of interest to you, whatever is relevant, just keep reading. There's so much information available on the internet. If you just keep reading, you will first you will struggle because you will not understand anything. Doesn't matter, keep reading. After, let's say, 2 weeks, you will say, okay, I read this earlier, is this what it means? Then you start getting an idea. 1 month later, you will start saying, okay, I'm beginning to understand. You'll have getting some questions in your mind. You'll start getting some doubts. Then as you read, some of those doubts will get cleared. If you follow this process for about 6 weeks, you will realize that suddenly you have built a system where dedicated 15 minutes a day keeps you updated. You are not planning to implement it. Remember, you are not the technology person in your company. You have to get somebody else to implement the technology. You just need to know enough about it to understand what's going on. 15 minutes a day. If you spend 15 minutes a day reading, in 6 weeks, you will know enough to make sure that you can implement the technology. And when you do that, it moves to the last point that I want to mention to you is confidence. Once you've overcome the panic, once you understand that technology is for everybody, once you understand that technology is another department, once you spend time reading every day, you will move to the fifth point, phase 5, which is I am now confident. Once you're confident, you will be able to talk. First, you will hire somebody who will run the technology in your business, in the technology department. You will be able to discuss with him what is it that you want implemented, and you will have the confidence to take the decisions, or confidence to at least understand the decision that he's recommending and decide whether you want to make the investment, pick the technology or not. Never forget, in all the areas, anytime you have any doubt, one is you have your own person, go ask some people. There are enough domain experts who are available there. Some are available to give you advice for free. Some of them are willing to share their time for a cost. Pay the money. I think consult with some people, get their investment of time, pay them for their time. But the domain expertise is available. At the end of the day, don't forget, you are the entrepreneur. You are the smart guy. You are the smart guy. You are the entrepreneur. You are the businessman. Technology is just a department, and you need to have the confidence to be able to discuss with them, talk to domain experts, understand what they're recommending, and take the decisions. That's all. In fact, I don't have anything else to say. These are the 5 points I wanted to say. I'm going to quickly sum it for you. 1, technology is for everyone. It's not only for specific entrepreneurs. 2, you run a business. A business has many parts, many departments. Tech is one part, like finance, like sales, like marketing. 3rd, do not panic. 4th, read every day, 15 minutes a day. 5th, when you do that, you will have the confidence to do it. Don't worry. It is easiest thing to do is to implement technology. The more difficult thing to do is to run a business. If you can run a business, why can't you manage a small department? A small department like technology can be managed by somebody who can run a business. That's all I have to say. If you have any questions, we can discuss.
There's a rule of the house that if you want to ask a question, please raise your hand. We have a raise hand icon, or also you can send in your questions. So we have a question saying that I need full backing for business partner and finance too. Okay, that is different. So if there is no one who would like to ask a question now, so please feel free to meet the speakers at the social launch, and you may ask them questions or whatever you have in your mind. So thank you very much, Mr. Ravi Chandra. So we will get on to the next speaker. It was wonderful. It was the fear is a major factor for any SMEs, as you rightly pointed out. That is the only thing which is blocking someone to try out something new. And entrepreneurs should not be they should be fearless, and they should be always a risk taker. Especially technologies are going to help them. And thank you very much for that piece of advice. And so before getting to the next speaker, we would like to run a quick video on Bhagwani Foundation.
The Bhagwani Advantage Program, helping small businesses grow. Do these questions keep you up at night? How can I grow my revenues? Should I look at new products? Need a good lawyer or an accountant? Who can help me with funding? Bhagwani Advantage can help. How do we do it? The Bhagwani Advantage program provides access to a complete ecosystem of partners to help SMEs like you grow. From finding a good accountant to helping you get a working capital loan, or finding new customers, or even charting out your strategy to expand globally, we have it all covered. The Bhagwani Advantage team and its vast network puts their rich knowledge and experience at your disposal in the form of content assets that include do-it-yourself guides for quick impact, self-assessment tools, videos, case studies, and more. And all this is available for free to all Bhagwani Advantage program members for life. In addition, we are available to help you chalk out a personalized transformation growth plan that puts you on a hyper-growth path. Bhagwani Foundation is a non-profit organization started by Dr. Ramesh Vadhwani, a Silicon Valley-based billionaire. We are currently present in 22 countries around the world. We do not charge for any of our services or for our platform. Service providers on our platform are all reliable and charge reasonable rates for their services. All we want from you is an investment of your time and a commitment to achieve hyper-growth in your business. The Bhagwani Advantage program provides you access to verified business services and lead generation platforms. We also give you access to unlimited tools and do-it-yourself guides to help you streamline and grow your business. You also get access to the Bhagwani Advantage transformation team for personalized support for your business. So what are you waiting for? Join the Bhagwani Advantage program and help your business soar.
Great. That was a quick promo of Bhagwani Advantage. So if anyone has got any kind of inquiry about how to scale up the business, so please reach out to them or send us an email, or you can put up our details on this the chat, and we will pass it on to the Bhagwani team. So thank you very much, and let me introduce our next speaker, Mr. Sandeep Barve. He is a CEO and MD at Inunition Private Limited. Inunition he helps entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders to improve business performance, define and implement change initiatives, and establish new capabilities. Over the last few years, Mr. Barve had led leadership interventions across Mahindra Group, Allscripts, Garware, Waldrops, Red Hat, SQS, Tech Mahindra, etc. on succession planning, enabling CIO and IT heads to move from supporting to leading the business, increasing global footprints and sales, strategic offsites, and moving to next level of capability at captive development center. Prior to Unison, he was the head of strategy at Barclays and had worked with HSBC Global Technology, Citibank, and PSU. He earned his MBA from IIM Calcutta. So he is going to talk on the topic unconventional strategies for business remodeling using technology. So let's welcome Mr. Sandeep.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Jose. Thanks to Aspire Media and Bhagwani Foundation for having me on this platform. Good afternoon and welcome to all the participants. I think today we are going into very tough times, and I am sure all the small businesses and all the participants and everybody from small to large, everybody is going through tough times, and everybody is worried about how to start the operations and all. I think three things are kind of creating issues for almost every business. And those are basically capital, labor, and demand. And I'm sure that as things pass on, as lockdown gets up, you will find your own ways to come out of this difficult time. tough situation, and I wish all good luck to everyone. One of the things that we need to understand that this pandemic has done is, and I'll call it as a blessing in disguise, is basically, one, it has created a realization for everyone, every business, be it small or big, that change is inevitable. Reinvention of the business is inevitable. You can't escape that. That is the realization. The second is basically every business will have to adopt technology in one or other way. Every business must move on to rapidly adopting technology path. Now let us see what is 21st century business characteristics, and each one of you, because I saw people coming from different industries, manufacturing, and then there are professional services and other businesses, so on and so forth. Whatever I'm going to say, apply that in context of your business. 21st century business has 3 characteristics, and all 3 will have to be present in your business. The business must be unique. Find it out what is there unique in your business. If it is not, you need to start discovering how you can make your business unique. In what way you can make your business unique? It could be your products or services. It could be your business model. It could be the way you service customer. It could be the way you attract customer. It could be the way you sell things, dispatch things, deliver goods. In other words, uniqueness can be acquired 360-degree around the business by looking into various facets. Ask yourself the question, in what way my business is unique? In what way I can make my business unique? The second point is modern. Is my business modern? Is my business modern in terms of operations? Am I using right production technologies? Am I using right communication technologies? Am I using right technologies in terms of customer acquisition, servicing, or any other facets of your business? The third point being, is my business relevant with the customer? So if the customer is convenient handling inquiries from the handheld, and we are making our advertisements on a local platform, it's not going to work. Am I relevant? Is my business relevant with the customer and with the market? So again, I will repeat, 21st business characteristics: unique, modern, and relevant. Go and apply this in your context. I'll come now to the main topic that we are going to talk today about, and that is basically unconventional strategies for business remodeling using technologies. 3 keywords. One is unconventional strategies, second is business model, and third is technology. So let us go through all 3 things and apply that in context of your business. Now, when we talk about strategies, let me talk about what is the traditional strategy and what is the unconventional strategy that every business will have to now adopt to. The traditional business strategy, first thing was, the strategy was always thinking about or planning about growth. So growth in terms of revenue, growth in terms of customers, growth in terms of maybe your portfolio of product and service offerings, and growth in terms of profitability and everything, necessarily growth around the numbers. The unconventional strategy is, today you will have to move away from growth and focus on value creation. How you are going to create value to the customer, how the customer is going to receive disproportionately higher value than what he or she is paying for your product or a service. So value creation as against growth. Growth will happen automatically if you are focusing on creating value. The second traditional strategies were around expansion. So how do I expand my customer segments? How do I expand my portfolio and basket of services or products? How do I expand across various geographies? The unconventional way or unconventional strategy is digitization, digital transformation of your business, because through that, you are going to expand globally. You are going to reach out across the globe, across geographies, across various customer segments. Another important aspect is the old business was known by its balance sheet in terms of the physical assets, land, building, property, machinery, so on and so forth. The modern business will be recognized and valued by the digital assets. So you need to think in terms of this unconventional strategy, focus more on digital. The third example would be the previous traditional strategies were around capabilities. So I have this capability, I can manufacture a particular component, I can provide a particular service. It was inside out, what I can do, what I can provide to the businesses. The unconventional strategy is customer centric. What customer want? How can I help you? How can I provide you what you want? How can I create value through that? So remember, growth, expansion, and basically capabilities are going to remain there, but the focus has to be shifted to value creation, digitization and digitalization, as well as customer centricity. So that's the unconventional strategic focus. Let us move on to the business model. Business model is nothing else but 360-degree of the business. How you produce goods, what are you producing, how you are producing, how you are selling, how you are servicing, how you are making money. So I will give a tip. If you haven't come across business model canvas, go to Google and find out business model canvas. Look at the images. You will get beautiful images of business model canvas. Those are 8 areas that you need to study in your business. I'm going to quickly touch upon them and we'll move on to technology. So basically the business model talks about, first is value proposition. How are you creating value through your obviously services and products? So how technology is going to help you in terms of improving your products, innovating your products or services, innovating the way you are incorporating things in terms of that. For example, in case of manufacturing, we have 3D printers, we have robots to make the product superior. So the first is value proposition. The second is customer segments. Which customer segments are you servicing? What are the specific characteristics and needs of that customer service? How can I fulfill those needs through using technology? I'll give you an example. And recently we had done that about 9 months back when we work across various SMEs and corporate and startup clients. So in one of the SME client, it's a healthcare business, and doctor and patient has to sit face to face. Around October, November last year, we moved their entire business online, and it was kind of a telemedicine facility. Obviously, they expanded their reach and expanded their customer segment. And today, during the lockdown period also, they are servicing their customers while sitting at home. So these are certain examples. You'll have to think in terms of who's your customer, what kind of convenience they want, what kind of expectations they have. The next aspect of business model is customer relationship. How you are going to maintain relationship with the customer, how you are going to cross-sell, how you are going to attract them. The next is channels. Which channels are you present? Channels is basically not just digital channels. There are 2 ways. Which channels are you advertising and marketing your business? Which channels are you using for delivery of the services? And we have seen all these things across that, how the delivery channels are changing. And I will not be surprised if down the line we'll have drone-based deliveries also, getting pizza delivered at our homes. The next aspect of business model is basically revenue streams. Today, technology is providing you an opportunity to increase and add more revenue streams, because a brick and mortar service can also start parallelly, listing on an e-commerce site or starting your own site where you can sell your products or service customers online and generate additional revenue. This need not be now linked to a particular geography that your shop or your business or your distribution network is available. You can expand the market. The other parts of the business model is basically the operating model or operating part, which is basically your key activities. How can you have your key activities modernized, use technology there? How can you have your key partners enable through technologies, can create a seamless information and data exchange across your business, and different business have different ecosystem partners. How can you create an easy and seamless interface for communication, for delivery of information, as well as for delivery and exchange of goods? The next part and final part of the business model being cost structure. Technology helps drastically reducing cost. So technology is not only just for reducing cost, but 4 or 5 areas technology is going to make your business grow rapidly, accelerate. It can help you accelerate your revenues. It can help you acquire more customers. It can help you create efficiency and productivity. It can help you in terms of revenue streams. It can help you attract more customers and create higher customer experience. And it can also help you create competitive advantage. Now, as far as small businesses are concerned, quickly I'm going to touch upon certain examples across the entire value chain, how you work or how you service the customer or produce the products. The first and foremost comes in terms of the marketing and sales. Today, through digital marketing, you can experience a heightened customer acquisition and lead generation channel. Those who have gone on to digital channels have experienced 10 to 100 times reach in terms of their customer segments. So today, if you are reaching to 100 people by digital media, you can reach to 1,000 people, you can reach to 10,000 people. So first and foremost, digital marketing. Second is in terms of sales, and Mr. Vaitishwaran mentioned, and this is going to be the future, that it is going to be a contactless sales, not just in B2C, but it is going to be in B2B also. And you will hear certain innovations. Let me tell you where the contactless sales is happening and what people are thinking. Today, I read in today's or yesterday's Economic Times, there are 2 businesses. One business is generating 150% more revenue in lockdown. The other business is generating 5 times more inquiries in the lockdown period. What are those businesses? One business is making a technology available for people to see ornaments. It's supporting jewelry business. How do I look if I wear this ornament? How do I look if I wear this bangles? Or how do I look if I wear these earrings? Kind of a technology with AR, VR. The other business is basically talking about ERAM and e-based, as in electronic, not just webinars, but electronic fashion shows. So where technology is going, sales, you have to equip with mobility channels. You have to equip sales for contactless generation of inquiries and generation of sales. The next part when it comes to the flow is basically supply chain. In manufacturing, there is a great opportunity to modernize and automate your supply chain. And supply chain has 2 legs. One is the customer side. So many a times I wonder that why people fear technology or why people fear to adopt. Take an example that today sitting at home we are talking. Today sitting at home we are ordering a pizza and getting delivered, and we are ordering and getting white goods delivered. Why the same technology manufacturing and all other small businesses are not using, making it available to their customers so that customer can place order online, customer can see where the order is getting processed, the status, the tracking and the delivery and everything. So supply chain automation you can have on the customer side, you get the benefit of this technology. Second is basically on the supplier side. So can we develop an automated inventory management linked with the supply chain where my stock gets replenished automatically and the manual intervention get reduced? So supply chain is another example which creates customer ease, convenience, cost reduction, and even logistics time and everything is saved. The next part comes to design and production. And this area could be applied to all the businesses. If you are IT business, you are developing software. If you are product business, you are developing a component or a product. Applies to even services businesses because this is the activity that you do. So design and development of systems, of services and everything can be handled through this. Lot of robotic process automation for all your processes. That is one technology. Robots, and robot need not be those giant robots. There are also assisted robots that can parallelly work, small robots that can parallelly work with your workforce. So it doesn't 100% replace your workforce overnight. It is assisted man and machine collaboration kind of robots. These areas can improve your product quality, then improve your production quality. So replacing an old machine with an automated machine can have tremendous impact in terms of volume growth. We are also talking about Industry 4. So old days of assembly line and then PLC SCADA machines and all is gone. Now we are talking about hyper connected machines having design being done, and digital twins. Refer all these technologies, and digital twins are not just coming in manufacturing, they are coming also in healthcare, where my digital image is created and my all vital statistics are created, and even diabetes and everything can be checked through that. So technology is all encompassing. 5x to 10x return on investment companies are reaping on technology. Many a times small businesses think that technology is costly. It is no more. Second thing, technology investments are rapid today in terms of giving you returns, and those are immediate tangible returns. The next part is basically your operations. And operations, I'm talking about end-to-end operations for your internal staff. Today, we are talking about a lot more work from home and all. Manufacturing, there is going to be restricted activity, but still there is possibility that half of the workforce or some workforce can always work from home. So cloud-based technology solutions reduce drastically the total cost of ownership. AI, ML can be introduced in there. With these areas, the last area which I would talk in terms of an example is basically the strategic side of the business, and that is basically around data and decision making. Huge amount of data is sitting in ERP systems today. How can you leverage that data, and how can you generate decisions, and how can you benefit yourself? With strategic intention of technology, you can create new revenue streams, you can create new segments, you can create new markets. So technology has ample ways to accelerate your growth, make it cost effective, create premium opportunities, and also make you competitive. I'll stop here. If any questions are there, I would be open to take now or later. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Bharve. It was a very, very insightful presentation. I was also running a poll in between, and I could find very, very interesting statistics on this.
Thank you.
It was quite an eye-opener for us also. So there was a question asked, does your business have an online sales platform?
Mm-hmm.
You'll be surprised. Only 41% said yes. And 40% said yes, and 60% said no. So that's
the opportunity spectrum.
Exactly. So it's a world out there to try out new technologies, and actually this COVID is helping people. As you said, it's a blessing in disguise. So it's helping people to change the way they do the business and remodel the business. So thank you very much, Mr. Sandeep.
Thanks.
So,
just the last point, that there are people from technology also. This is the opportunity for them. So it's the other way around.
Brilliant. Yes, exactly. So thank you very much. And is there any questions? Please reach out to Mr. Sandeep and Mr. Vaitichran later after the session. So let me quickly introduce our the third speaker, Mr. Pugal. Mr. Pugal is a senior consultant at Tally Solutions. He is a legend of over 36 years of wide range experience in field of accounts, inventory, statutory, and training. Pugal is associated with Tally Solutions Private Limited for the past 15 years as a senior consultant, and has shouldered various responsibilities in the organization, heading various functions like Tally's executive education division, head of compliance and R&D, head product management audit tool, and conducted over 100 ICAI chapter events across India. So from July 2016, he was entrusted with the responsibility of GST knowledge base and dissemination of knowledge and imparting training on the GST domains as head center of excellence, GST. During the stint, he had conducted over 200 GST domain sessions for various stakeholders like chartered accountants, tax practitioners, Tally partner, ecosystem, and customers, conducted faculty development programs for college professors and faculty across India. So Mr. Pugal is going to talk about kickstart your business and conquer. So let's welcome Mr. Pugal.
Thank you, Mr. Dojo. Good afternoon, everybody. First, let me thank Mr. Dojo and Aspire Media for giving us this opportunity and the platform to share our thoughts of business remodeling And we thank all of you for your participation. And yeah, we hope that you will take great insights. So what I'll do now is that I will move on to my presentation, and I have about 7-8 slides which I should be finishing in about 15 minutes. Right? So I'll just share my screen now. So my session is going to be that kickstart your business and conquer. So basically, I'm going to talk about 3 very important C's to reboot your business. Now, all of us know that today's scenario. What is the today's scenario? The 2 C's which has actually paused the world. Right? So one is definitely the corona and the corona crisis. Now, this one invisible virus has brought down the entire world to the standstill. Slowly, things are opening up, and all of us are in the revival mode. Right? So, what is the impact of this corona? We have seen this. So basically, if you see, unfortunately for the MSME segment, right, this is the 3rd major crisis. We can actually term this as a epidemic for the unfortunate SME segments in our country. So what are the other previous 2 major crises? One is, we can never forget 8th November 2016, which was the demonetization. Then 1st of July 2017, where GST was implemented. And we know as an MSME, there was been a major struggle for MSMEs, and slowly, we were, just coming up and then getting settled down. With all these major problems, we were settling down. Then again, unfortunately, this major crisis has come. So the pandemic definitely has left an impact on all the sections of the economy, but nowhere the hurt is so much as the MSME of India. The 6.34 crore MSMEs who are today suffering, and the other impact is the employing of 11 crore employees. The workforce of these MSMEs are 11 crore employees, and where our MSMEs are basically contributing over 30% of the GDP. Now, how do we now kickstart? So what are the action points? We all know that COVID-19 pandemic has left the impact on all the sectors of the economy, but nowhere. We have seen the changes that has happened. It has brought the entire activity, operations, commerce to a standstill. MSME being the backbone of our economy, it is a big struggle. So what is that action that we need to do? We have to change and make amendments. What are the key amendments that we have to act upon? So again, I would like to say the 2 C's to challenge the coronavirus is basically change. You need to bring a lot of change in your business and see what changes is better for you so that you can conquer your business. What I would say is that it is very important now for you to take care of your TRP. Now, I'm not talking about the television rating point here. I'm talking about how can you leverage on your time, resources, and what kind of processes that you can bring in to your organization so that you can quickly revive and start moving. Now, I just remembered 2 great statements, quotes we can say. Is one is that for things to change, we have to change. The other one is basically losers let things happen and winners make things happen. So keeping this in mind, I think we should definitely kickstart. And what is that we are going to do? As I had mentioned, the 3 C's to revive your business. What are the 3 C's to revive your business? Very important: cash flow management. How do you start managing your cash flow? Are you on top of this cash flow management is what we would be seeing. We will see what components of cash flow management that we can start concentrating on. The second important aspect, yes, definitely is the cost cutting aspect. What are the things that you can see? How can you prioritize and deprioritize your activities and your operations such that you are able to cut costs and also at the same time bring proper equilibrium in your business activities. And definitely our two esteemed earlier speakers, Mr. Vaidiswaran and Mr. Barve, had stressed upon the most important thing, that how do you choose the right technology? Whatever is the technology that you are having, how do you leverage them? How do you start tapping the benefit of those technologies and start getting the information at your fingertips so that you can basically take an informed decision? Now let us just quickly see what are the things that we can think on from the cash flow management perspective. So if you see the cash flow management part, basically the first is that debt recovery, right? So how quickly can you recover your debts? So it is very important. Concentrate on the outstanding, start tracking on the receivables, prioritize on the overdue bills, and probably for you to make a quick collection, what kind of schemes that you can give. Can you give discount for immediate payment or commitment through post-dated check? Supposing if your customer is paying, issuing your post-dated check, can you give them some benefit so that you can start getting your cash? And definitely payable is also very, very important to ensure that you get fresh inputs. Similarly, negotiating with vendors for various things. In fact, when I'm just I was implementing to one of the clients in their operations tally implementation I was doing, and when I was just talking to them last week, they were saying, they said, sir, in fact, it is so bad things, we are now negotiating with the vendor to take back the last 2 months supply. And he says, even if he's giving me 25% discount is okay, let him pick up the thing. So this is the kind of struggle that is happening in some of the industries. The next is that how do you reduce your credit limit, right? So we have to now ensure that, you have a regular stream of cash flow, like working capital in your organization so that you reduce your credit line. Sacrifice a margin, right? So if it is cash down transaction, if it is a cash down thing, it's a very nice thing that you can do. You have to basically see, it all depends on what type of industry you are in, what type of market you are in. These are some of the suggestions what we would think that could help you in like reviving your business. Third is evaluate the interest lost on delayed payment. Now, this is again a very critical aspect. All this while, probably all these years, we would have not really given thought to this aspect of it. The overdue bills which are there. What is the loss on return of investment in terms of interest? So you are given in 30 days credit or 45 days credit, but then what happens? Most of the case, especially in MSME segment, if you see, unfortunately, like in many sessions I've been told that they said 90 days is the bare minimum credit that we need to wait for. So whatever the number of credit period, number of days of credit line is there, but over and above, if your customer is not paying, what is the loss of interest that you're going to have on those outstanding, which literally many cases we borrow capital and we pay interest and we lend this capital to our customer, and then he is actually enjoying my capital and you have to bear the interest on both sides. So how do you start evaluating on this loss of interest? Then it's very, very critical now that how do you start credit rating your customers, right? So you need to bring some kind of a lens where the lesser the customer, better paymaster is going to really, help you into, especially for the next 6 to 8 months, it is very critical for you to, move up or take off in your business and stay at that level for you to, be comfortable in your business activities. Cash projection is again a very, very important aspect of it. In case of cash projection, what is your future cash position? How does your future working capital looks like? It's very critical for you to do, right? So what are your fixed expenses which you can, start projecting them and then, see that, okay, next month or the next couple of months, how does your cash position looks like. So this is one other important aspect, and the most critical thing is that now you have to make sure that you have lean inventory. How do you have this lean inventory? How do you manage? How do you get we have heard this term JIT, just in time stock, because the more inventory you are carrying, so much is the working capital is going to be like a sitting duck. So these are some of the things. In fact, if you see in Tally, if people are using Tally, you can use their various features in Tally, which you can combine them as a suite, and by click of a button, you can actually see what is the loss of interest on those capital of yours which is being held by a customer, which are overdue. That is one aspect you can do. And the other aspect is that you can also set various credit limits, where once you set a credit limit, once it exceeds the credit limit, the system should give you, either Tally definitely gives it, or any system you are using. So basically, I'm just giving a reference point as Tally, but I'm saying whatever is the ERP, whatever is the software or the accounting solution that you are using, you have to now ensure that these are the things which are critical for you to be on top of your cash flow management. So lean inventory is basically how can your ERP system give you by a little bit of configuration. For example, in Tally, if you see, if I configure my purchase order, sale order, I can set up a reorder level for my stock item. I can set up a minimum order level, and by click of a button, I will know exactly. The system will now pick up whatever is the outstanding orders of your purchase and sale. It will pick up those, and automatically it is going to tell you what is the value of stock that you need to actually buy, which means what is the order that you need to be placed. The cost cutting aspect of it, if you see, again, there are, one is that take business to a lean mode. So again, a lean mode, we can have a different definition for this lean mode for different sizes and types of business. But then definitely these are the times where you need to see where are the things that you can cost cut. Like one example is that you really don't have to now think of your wants. Basically, you need to see that my needs, whether and even those needs have to be prioritized in such a way so that what is more important, more critical is what you need to basically consider that, and these are one of the things. Then they explore the possibility of salary cut. We know that in the last 1 week, 10 days, we have seen the kind of the migrant laborers, exodus of the migrant laborers, and it is difficult. So if some of the laborers who have already migrated, so how do you now get them? And retrenching again is going to be a problem. It all depends on what is the workforce that you have and what value the workforce that it adds. How do you restructure? Many companies I've heard that they have restructured their salary for the next 3 months, 6 months, 30%, 50%. So basically, you need to see that whether these are some of the options that are available for you to ensure that you have a complete workflows which can basically get into those line of activity and then give you your end result of meeting your customers' expectation. So capping your marketing spend. So basically, how can you reduce your marketing spend and get a far bigger reach? Get a far bigger reach. Like I had mentioned that our previous, especially our last speaker, Mr. Barve, had very, very neatly put it, saying that how you can, increase your touch point or increase your customer base through your online activities or through your marketing effort online. Right. So the renegotiating part, basically we were talking about that. The other aspect is that we have to see that can you now have all your vendors, local vendors, basically you have this lead time of supply where you really don't have to stock more for a longer period, your inventories you don't have to hold. So these are some of the things which would definitely help you into your cost cutting activities. And the third one is choosing the right technology. Like I mentioned earlier, the last two speakers, thanks to them, they have clearly articulated on what is the importance of technology and how technology is going to play a very, very important role going forward. So what I would like to add is basically how technology can automate. Like I mentioned, that if you're using a software, how these things, how can you manage your cash flow? How the software can help you in identifying the areas where you can do cost-cutting activities without compromising on your output and various other aspects. So the automation basically allows you to analyze things faster, where you have information, and allows you to take quick informed decision, and in case of any deviation, it allows you to basically do a course correction immediately. So that is the awareness that it is going to bring. The other aspect is that, with the technology and going online, because online is going to be the mantra going forward. So going online is basically, if you see, you can create your own WWO, which is your worldwide office. You can create your worldwide office and see how you can, basically, get a larger reach of customers and, expand your business. The third is, yes, build and enhance your website. And if you don't have a website, and please, this is the time that you have to start, be visible in the online arena. And if you have a website, see what enhancements can be bring. How do you now basically help your visibility in the market, which can help you in getting more touch points. And again, the last aspect is that drive your business online as much as possible. Basically, we would want you to explore the possibility of driving your business online, which is going to, again, like I said, it is going to be the norm. So online business will help you. There are a lot of technology companies which are actually leveraging the latest technologies. They are coming out with various innovative solutions, which I think we should start adopting it. Now, to quickly summarize it, one is that we are in the worst phase of this century, and hopefully we should be sailing through this. And only thing is that we need to pray that just 2 days back I read in the paper that we are in the cluster phase of coronavirus spread. Let's hope and pray that it doesn't go into a community spread. Right? So this is one area which is very critical, and the most important thing is that you sail or manage your business with patience and resilience. Ponder upon the points discussed by the various speakers and take the right decision which would help you to kickstart your business and conquer. Thank you very much.
So we have a question from Mr. Deepak Rajopatyay. He is the director of Accord Tech Private Limited. He's asking, is there a law for the payment recovery for the MSMEs? What is that exactly, and why is it not implied correctly? Many peers you are not giving payments in time, and other medium scale industries to small scale. Any solutions for that?
We have to see now this is going to be a vicious cycle, because I am a customer to you and you are a customer to somebody else, right? So there is no ready-made set of solutions that we can look into it. Basically, we have to see that how we can, basically, what could I say is that how can you ensure that you choose your right customer and make sure that we have the saving, better late than never. So we have to make sure that we choose our right customer and ensure that the payment is going to be on time.
Great. So thank you very much, Pugal. It was a good presentation. And in case if there is any more questions that they want to ask, please feel free to meet the speakers at the launch. So
yes,
thank you, Pugal. Thank you very much. So let me introduce our last speaker of today's session. Is Mr. Ravi Chandra. Ravi Chandra is a management consultant, and business transformation. With over 20 years of experience working in CXO and senior management roles in electronics hardware manufacturing, enterprise software, cloud computing. Mr. Ravi is an international sales and business development consultant, helping products and services companies leverage opportunities to grow and sustain with an effective business continuity plan. Extensively involved in Industry 4.0 digital transformation and experience in consulting for design of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and blockchain strategies across manufacturing, healthcare, retail, and technology domains. So Mr. Ravi Chandra is going to be talking on the topic on opportunity in IoT and industrial IoT. So welcome, Mr. Ravi Chandra.
Hey, thank you for your introduction, and it was quite a learning from other speakers as well. Thank you so much for the time. So I'll just try and make it very quick. Okay. So this presentation is going to be just a quick snapshot of what are the opportunities available for the SME side to leverage in terms of IoT, specifically as the domain. So like other speakers have also mentioned, we should always remember we should not offer what we can, but it's better to offer what is needed for the customers. Sometimes you may need to educate customers of what they need. Okay, this is a popular saying from Sam Walton. He says, there is only one boss, that's the customer, and he has the power to get down everyone just by spending his money somewhere else. So this is what is happening right now in the business side. All the businesses are transforming right as we speak. There are transformation happening in manufacturing, supply chain, logistics, and almost all the areas. And the transformation has also been happening into different, even technologies are getting transformed, not just industries. So if you look at IoT, there are two major segments, so-called. We could just overall we could consider them as industrial IoT and consumer IoT. So what you see here are some examples of industrial IoT. Your smart grids, your factories, smart cities, smart cars, or you can consider your consumer side, your bands that you use, Fitbit bands or wearables. Now, so like it was mentioned earlier, so what we are looking at is having value to the value creation to the customers is more important. So if you're a software startup, look at the perspective of the customer in terms of whatever you are trying to offer any solution. So you'll have to understand the current trend that is happening and where all these technologies can add value, especially augmented reality or artificial intelligence. Whether the customer really needs it or not is a question. So we should not be selling technology, better sell the value of technology. So this slide is not clear, but it talks about what are the technology features, what are the benefits you are trying to get out of it, and business value that it is creating. So I'm going to just quickly get you. I'm sorry, this might look a little technical, but it's actually not. This is a general ecosystem for most of the companies. As the small and medium business, you might want to look at opportunities for yourself. So if you're looking at opportunities in the consumer IoT segment, so these are the areas you might come across, like home, lifestyle, health, or mobility kind of areas. So if you're looking at business IoT, you would be coming across retail, industrial, healthcare, energy, services, or even to the agriculture side, animal related. So all the areas are getting transformed. How we are going to see a little after, but these are the typical layers on which it will be working on. Okay, so there's a hardware layer, there's a communication layer where you would use different protocols. So I'm not going to get into that. It might sound a little technical. The following slide is about what has been happening in our industry. And Industry 4 as a terminology is been taken in a different context, but it's pretty simple. If you look at it from outsider perspective, it's all about, in the first industrial revolution, it was steam engine that was dominant. Then followed by second industrial revolution where electricity got invented. Then the following era was all about computers and connectivity. We all came from this third industrial revolution side, and now we are witnessing this fourth industrial revolution. It's all about leveraging the data. Okay, so this is a quick information about what exactly is IoT and industrial IoT and Industry 4 or smart factory. These are the terminology you keep listening to. So here we just I try to cover up in a very short and precise way. So industrial IoT is all about using your IoT technology in multiple businesses for your commercial purpose. Industry 4 is generally a terminology from Germany, but it goes more towards integrating cloud technology into your factory side. Okay, the smart factory is also in a similar line, but it's more about specific areas that you're going to cover. So this is a big area. I'm going to just go through this in a little faster pace. So if you look at, we are like 7.6 billion people, humans on our earth, and it is expected that there's going to be about 35 billion IoT devices. And this is going to be increasing with 5G. So this is the scale of things we are talking about. We are 7.6 billion and 35 billion IoT smart devices are going to be there. And the billions in terms of number of devices is given over here. And to the right side, this is the impact of IoT. Okay. So I'm just going to go to this slide is about, what are the areas, what specifically areas we are going to, who are adopting this IoT technology. Automotive has been on the top line. They are integrating a lot of sensors into all their systems, and their processes. Most of the machinery equipments are coming up with sensors integrated. So these are some of the upcoming technologies. What is happening in the industry? Most of you might be from the technology background, and those not into technology background, please don't mind. The intention behind showing up these slides is to just let you know that all the industries are transforming, and these are some of the terminology you're going to be looking at in terms. But all these are not so complicated as they look. Like it was discussed before, it's all about timing that is going to get involved in the steps. You don't have to get into that, but it's automatically going to be part of our business. So there is also artificial intelligence, which is taking most of the businesses, whether it is pharmaceuticals or healthcare or manufacturing, logistics, name it, you get it, because all these industries are taking a deep dive into AI. Only reason being that they would want to use, until now we did not have that processing capacity to use the data effectively. Now let's look into what are the applications of this IoT. So here, these are the sensors. All right. Okay. So this particular the right now what is happening is the IoT is all about sensors and cloud. Now, what all your businesses, the normal businesses, what we conduct, we got some machinery. If you are a manufacturing unit, you will have some machinery from where you are producing. You got some ERP, you got a CRM kind of system. So all your operation specific data, instead of being sent manually, you can integrate a sensor there. so that it is automatically sent to the cloud. So these are the kind of sensors that are being used extensively: vibration, position, a gas sensor, or a light sensor, humidity, moisture, pressure sensors, RFIDs. So quite a few of them. So this is what is happening now. If you take a factory floor, so what they are using now is they are using a lot of handheld devices or sensors at each point, and the edge computers or big edge computing has been in place in many ways, and there are edge gateways, syncing with the cloud continuously. So I'll go to the next slide, which will make it much more easier. Okay, this is happening right now. So you got some legacy infrastructure. What you see to the bottom side, there is a machine with a sensor next to it. So this legacy machinery that is there, they are adding some sensors to that, which might be having a temperature sensor or a humidity sensor based on your requirement. And this would be working on Bluetooth. So once it is attached to this machine, it will continuously talk to the local gateway, and that in turn speaks to the cloud. And this is where your operational logic, business logic is written. So if there are two aspects to it. If you are yourself a small and medium business who would want to leverage technology, it makes sense for you to look at this as a way to take advantage of technology to improvise your manufacturing capacity. So other day I was with one of power plant, where any of their downtime with the power plant would cause a big loss to them in terms of their billing from the power plant, from the power supply source, their vendor. So what they did is they wanted us to ensure that whenever there is a outage, we would want to know in advance. So we put a thermal sensor there and took the data, and whenever he is able to now monitor everything from his mobile phone. So like whenever there is a change in or fluctuation in his machines, that vibration as well as temperature data gives an alert onto his mobile phone. So it saves a lot. So there is a smaller things. And apart from this, there have also been applications in asset management and condition of the assets. You can also look at safety measures. So these sensors are used even in, we were in conversation with one of the largest construction company in India. For their employees who are working in the metro train project, they would go underneath the construction area, and there are like more than 400 people running around working all through the day. So for them, it is very important that they track the employee safety, they ensure employee safety. So at the entrance itself, when each worker is given a band, a handband with a beacon in it, Bluetooth sensor in it. So when they are going inside, either they are, for some reason, if the labor or the employee is not well, if he is hurt or if he is fallen down somewhere, or he is left out in the one of the areas which are not so visible, this system will alert to us. So this band would give an alert to the system saying that, hey, look, this particular person is not responding, or this movement, there is no movement in this person, because there is a sensor inside, acceleration sensor, which says that there is no movement of this person. So immediately the location is given to the other team members, they would take an action. Or even if it is like after 6 p.m., there are 2-3 employees left out and the doors are getting locked, that would not happen this time, because whenever employees are inside, that system will automatically alert. The gate would not close. So this is a smart manufacturing structure, how manufacturing is changing. This was industry 3 before, and this is what has happened in industry 4. If you look at it from outside, it looks nothing is different. But if you look at the right side there's a lot of connectivity, interconnectivity between all the systems internally. What this interconnectivity does is control into one single dashboard for us to manage. Because earlier it was all in silos. Information was available, but in silos. So you can use the same IoT technology for smart waste management. There are companies in Australia, a lot of companies in US have already completed deployment of this technology. This is how they are using, like, if there are the waste bins across the city or one particular area, the truck movement is auto-calculated. Is mapping is done internally based on whether the bins are full or not. So there is a sensor inside the bin which would indicate that yes, it requires to be picked up. Then the route onto the driver would automatically get that indication to him. There are a lot of other related activities, because there is a visibility into this bin. There is also visibility onto the city dump management, whether the dump area has got enough capacity to accept or not. And even to the extent of citizens can get information in advance, and the city administration have a better clean management instead of trying to move around in a regular way. It will also save fuel. IoT is used extensively in transport management as well. There is something called V2X, which is into market, like vehicle to infra communication, where traffic movement is thoroughly monitored. For example, if there is an ambulance on the road, and earlier we used to have that ambulance signal continuously beeping. Instead, what will happen now is the entire stretch of road where ambulance is going to go with it automatically get cleared in terms of the signals being monitored and all the lanes being cleared of the system, because there are multiple applications that are already in place. The city of California has already implemented this system. It's proven, and there are standards also available. So those of you SMEs who are a software company trying to build some applications around this area, I'd be happy to support. And there are smart cards. Usually cards come with a lot of sensors. When in the beginning of our career, I was heading some automotive electronics division in an embedded company. Those days we used to work with like 40 sensors at the most inside a car. But now there are like several more, in hundreds actually. More than 280 odd sensors have been there in one of the vehicle, is the smaller size. So there are a lot of things that are getting added to the vehicle and making it, this is for convenience of the driver. These are called the advanced driver assistance systems. So one of them, what we use regularly is your navigation application. Just imagine navigation application being added with additional data specific to your vehicle. That is also possible going forward. And this is another area like self-driving cars. This also requires sensors to send data, and then based on the sensor information, you can drive the cars. I know this area, the reason I was a little hesitant to include it here as one of the application area, but it's not so tough area for an SME to consider, because you would not be building the entire system. But if you can understand where the market is going, you can look at where is the area, and amongst this ecosystem, where is the play that I can get in. It might be as simple as providing a sensor to the whole system, or just a communication module, or you are developing a mobile application, or you are just making a video analytics component, which is again AI component for the camera. So there's a lot of things that can be done using this IoT as a technology. Now a lot of companies are also using IoT for agriculture side, smart agriculture. What you see to the right side is a typical area where crops are being grown. Now, some of the crops need optimal temperature to be maintained. Humidity needs to be controlled. Your lighting has to be done. They have to be watered at the right time. So these things have been possible only because of IoT now, because these sensors are able to pull up the data. So there's a little bit of information here. It talks about how the sensor data is sent to the controller, and then the IoT gateway is able to sync with the remote devices. So this is another extension to this is smart agriculture equipment as well. Nowadays, drones are used to spray the medicine to the plants. So when they do that, the drone's control has to be done in specific areas, and they will have to go to certain areas to pick the points. So what they did is, in one of application is they put pointers with an RFID tag, so that the drone goes to those specific areas which are not reachable in a normal instance. So their equipments are also fitted with a lot of sensors these days, which is making it easy for them. Now, these are like for animal tracking. So what you see to the belt of the cow, there is a small tag that can be used to track that animal anywhere it is. In my village, there are a lot of farmers. It has been a common thing earlier, not now, but someone has taken away their buffaloes or cows somewhere, and the guy, that is the only livelihood for him. Now it can never happen, because we can these small things can help our farmers pretty well. So if you are an SME who is playing a role in this area, you would be indirectly helping governments also implement the better policies, because you can also trace how much is like, for example, if it is a cow that is giving milk, now you can trace how much milk this particular cow has given. You can help the farmers maintain their system much better way, and also to the government, and anti-theft can be done. At the same time, for the poultries, when it is extreme temperature like it has been for the past 2-3 days, you can ensure that your poultry is secure by managing the temperature, auto-managing the temperature and humidity. Well, this has also gone into smart food processing segment. Like food processing has been automated in most of the cases with sensors, ensuring that the supply chain is properly maintained and the equipment is maintained properly. And there is always alerts, and then once your order is there, it will backtrack to the system. So this is other area which is commonly known to us, all of us. This is smart grid. So in smart grid, you've got quick before and after scenario is given here for reference. And likewise, there is a big shift happening in smart retail. So if you're a small and medium business trying to play a role in retail space, there is, trust me, there's a huge opportunity. Even if you are developing a small mobile application, there are multiple areas. Like you see here in this picture, there are counting of people. A company likes to know how many people visited their store in the past 1 year. Based on that, they would want to do some analysis. They would also want to look at some visual analytics, heat maps. Based on which product has been of interest for the customers, they can do that thing. This is the smart retail. Then smart energy monitoring. These are like, if you are a factory and there is a continuous consumption of diesel into your system, and diesel and electricity is being consumed continuously, there is a way for you to reduce that consumption. You can improve your line efficiency. So that way, and also in logistics, it's been a very, very big way. Like all your asset, whatever you are moving across, can be tracked easily using IoT technology. So even in healthcare, if a patient is given a band, it's easy for you to track your patient, whichever place it is. If I'm a doctor going around the hospital rounds, any of my patient having increased temperature or not abnormal behavior or a heart rate being abnormal, I can get an alert instantly. I can react even before I reach. I can ask my staff to take required medication in advance. So there is lots of things happening in healthcare market. Of course, there is also social distancing that is part of it, but these days social distancing was one application we built for healthcare segment. So beacons are also used for indoor navigation. Imagine a large retail store, you need to go around, so you don't need anyone's help. You just install an application, and there will be that will guide you by itself. Saying I need to go to the third row. I'm looking for one particular product. I can just log in that product. The mobile will give me the route. It will overlay on top of your camera image. It will keep directing you to that place. No, you don't need anyone else. The same thing is done in most of the airports now. If you look at Singapore airport, the Changi airport, you can go to McDonald's from wherever you are. Just select McDonald's. It will guide you. Okay, take right and take second left, those kind of things. There is also inventory tracking and asset monitoring. This is a representative of how it actually happens. There are some smaller, the dots, what you see is where you put some sensors and the data is sent to the server side. So this is a quick, what I like to conclude is, we have gone through this hype cycle to the left side, what we call in management terminology. Often we refer to that in business also. The hype cycle. If you look at hype cycle, the IoT is already gone through a considerable phase of testing, you could say. And now we are actually getting into adoption stage. So it presents a huge opportunity for small and medium businesses to immensely get a lot of benefit immediately. And my advice to the small and medium businesses is to have a global vision. And of course, I heard our respected speakers also mention the same thing. And once you have a global vision, whatever product or service you are offering, it makes more sense because your audience is automatically much bigger in size, and in a very short time you can look at better revenues. So this is all about the IoT and industrial IoT. I hope it was not too fast, and I'm sorry to have taken a little time here and there in the slides. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. It was really a wonderful presentation because IoT is one topic that won't be not very easy to digest for SMEs at least. So many were asking what is the full form of IoT, and they're at that stage. So it's a very tough term to understand for most of the small and medium business. But you have made it very interestingly explain the whole thing, the benefits of it. So probably I'm sure that many will try to look into it. I can see a lot of chat that they want to get in touch with you. Please give your contact. So probably it'll be a great opportunity for you to share some time at the launch, so that who wants to get in touch with you, let them have the time to spend some time and explain to them. So thank you very much. You made it. It is at the beginning we found it's a bit too techy, but I think later on you made things quite easy to understand. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. So. Once again, thank you for all the speakers, and I can see Mr. Pugal, and is there Mr. Maidishwan here, or is it left? I'm not sure. But anyway, thank you all our speakers, Mr. Pugal, Mr. Sandeep, Mr. Ravi. I really thank you for making it and giving us this wonderful presentation today. It was really helpful for all of us who attended this, change the kind of business that you are supposed to do right now from now. What are the things that you need to learn? We have done few poll, and we found out a lot of interesting insight. We'll be publishing that soon on the upcoming, on the social media and all our channels. So Thank you all once again, and we look forward to be in touch, and probably we'll have more opportunity in the upcoming webinars, so we can always invite you for another subject. So I would like to run the Bhagwani, the video once again.
The Bhagwani Advantage Program, helping small businesses grow. Do these questions keep you up at night? How can I grow my revenues? Should I look at new products? Need a good lawyer or an accountant? Who can help me with funding? Bhagwani Advantage can help. How do we do it? The Bhagwani Advantage program provides access to a complete ecosystem of partners to help SMEs like you grow. From finding a good accountant to helping you get a working capital loan, or finding new customers, or even charting out your strategy to expand globally, we have it all covered. The Bhagwani Advantage team and its vast network puts their rich knowledge and experience at your disposal in the form of content assets that include do-it-yourself guides for quick impact, self-assessment tools, videos, case studies, and more. And all this is available for free to all Bhagwani Advantage program members for life. In addition, we are available to help you chalk out a personalized transformation growth plan that puts you on a hyper growth path. Bhagwani Foundation is a non-profit organization started by Dr. Ramesh Bhagwani, a Silicon Valley-based billionaire. We are currently present in 22 countries around the world. We do not charge for any of our services or for our platform. Service providers on our platform are all reliable and charge reasonable rates for their services. All we want from you is an investment of your time and a commitment to achieve hyper growth in your business. The Bhagwani Advantage program provides you access to verified business services and lead generation platforms. We also give you access to unlimited tools and do-it-yourself guides to help you streamline and grow your business. You also get access to the Bhagwani Advantage transformation team for personalized support for your business. So what are you waiting for? Join the Bhagwani Advantage program and help your business soar.
So thank you once again, all our partners. I would like to thank once again our main sponsor, Tally Solutions, our knowledge partner, Bhagwani Advantage, and our ecosystem partners, TAI Coimbatore, Kerala Startup Mission, Marathwada Association, Industries, SME Chamber, Power2 SME, Reva Network, Reva Nest, and and our own partners, Aspire Consulting. So while we thank all our speakers this time, we would like to remind you our next week's program, next Saturday's program is going to be a masterclass. So it's a very interesting session, as I told you last time. So don't miss out. It's a great opportunity for you to learn on how to market your business, with zero budget. So please stay focused on our details that we are going to share. So please don't miss out the opportunity. It's a wonderful session that everyone should attend. So it's a workshop basically, and takes you through the entire process of how to market your product, because most of the SMEs find it extremely difficult to market their product. They don't know how to market the product. So this session will definitely help them and do that too without spending much of the revenue that we are looking at, because most of the people are scared to spend the kind of money that is. So probably this session will help you understand how this can help your business grow with zero budget. It is conducted by Ms. Neetu Bansal. She is an expert, and thank you for our knowledge partner Bhagwani to arranging this kind of a session as well. So please make sure that you attend this session, and it's very informative, very useful for your business, and it definitely can help your business grow. And this is how we need to look at your business from now on. So put effort in marketing your business. It's very, very important. So it's very important. So please attend the session next week and learn from the session and implement it. And so thank you once again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all our partners. And so you can move to your networking session now, or the social launch, and start meeting the speakers. And I hope you can clarify whatever doubts you have. And thank you, and we'll all see you next week. Good night. Good evening. Bye.